While scientists were conducting research on the MUTO, the creature absorbed the nuclear energy and radiation being used around it, making itself even more powerful. Realizing the danger, Monarch researchers ordered an immediate attempt to eliminate the creature. They blasted it with millions of volts of electricity, hoping to kill it. However, the effort failed. Moments later, the MUTO broke free from its containment chamber and slammed its massive foot into the ground, releasing a powerful EMP, electromagnetic pulse. Instantly, all nearby electrical and electronic systems shut down. In today's world, technology can interfere with certain signals, but the MUTO's ability was far beyond anything humans had ever seen. Using the energy stored within its body, it generated an EMP powerful enough to disable virtually every electronic device in its vicinity. Ships lost power, aircraft systems failed, electrical grids collapsed, and modern technology became completely useless. Since technology is humanity's greatest advantage, the question remained, how could anyone fight a creature capable of shutting everything down? After escaping, the MUTO rampaged through parts of the city before spreading its enormous wings and flying toward another destination. Meanwhile, Monarch scientists discovered something unusual. The MUTO had been transmitting a mysterious signal, and even more surprisingly, it was receiving responses from somewhere else. It appeared that the creature was communicating with another being. Soon after, Godzilla emerged from the depths of the ocean. At first, everyone believed that the MUTO had been sending signals to Godzilla. But when the two creatures finally encountered each other, that theory was proven wrong. Instead of responding peacefully, Godzilla immediately attacked the MUTO. Forced to retreat, the MUTO escaped and continued sending out the mysterious signal. This led scientists to a shocking conclusion: the signal wasn't meant for Godzilla at all. It was intended for someone, or something, else. While investigating further, the researchers remembered the giant cave discovered earlier in the story. Inside that cave were two enormous eggs. One had already hatched, while the other was believed to be dead. However, because the second egg contained extremely high levels of radiation, it wasn't destroyed. Instead, it was transferred to a secure storage facility used for radioactive materials and nuclear waste. And that discovery would soon lead to an even greater mystery. At that moment, one of the scientists says, "There is another MUTO. The egg we believed was dead wasn't actually dead. A second creature hatched from it, and it's likely the one communicating with the first MUTO." After hearing this, the military quickly arrives at the location. There, they discover that the scientist's theory is completely correct. The second MUTO has already left the area and is now attacking a nearby city, leaving destruction everywhere. Unlike the first MUTO, this one has no wings. However, it is much larger and even more terrifying. To deal with the situation, the Navy develops a plan. Knowing that the MUTOs are attracted to radiation, they decide to use a nuclear warhead as bait to lure the creatures away from populated areas and toward the ocean. Their ultimate goal is to eliminate both MUTOs and Godzilla at the same time. However, one of the scientists strongly objects. Godzilla is not humanity's enemy, he argues. If he wanted to destroy us, he would have already wiped out every ship in our fleet. But the military ignores his warning. They activate a nuclear warhead, set its timer, and transport it by train toward its destination. Meanwhile, Ford is desperate to return to his family. Coincidentally, the train carrying the nuclear warhead is heading toward the same city. As a result, he joins the military operation and boards the train. But during the journey, a MUTO suddenly attacks. The assault is devastating, killing nearly every soldier on board. Ford is one of the few survivors. The MUTO then steals the nuclear warhead and carries it away. Its goal is simple: absorb the radiation contained within the weapon. As explained earlier, these ancient creatures survive by feeding on radiation. In Earth's distant past, radiation levels on the surface were much higher, allowing them to feed freely. As those levels declined, they retreated deep into the oceans and survived by absorbing energy from the Earth's interior. Shortly afterward, a rescue helicopter arrives and evacuates Ford from the disaster zone. Meanwhile, the two MUTOs begin moving toward each other, while Godzilla also approaches the same location. By then, numerous naval warships have gathered in the area. Although the military initially avoids attacking Godzilla, they change their strategy after one of their ships is damaged and launch a full assault against him. At the same time, a MUTO unleashes another powerful EMP pulse. Instantly, electronic systems fail. Aircraft lose control and crash, ship engines shut down, and the entire battlefield descends into chaos. The two MUTOs then carry the nuclear warhead into the city, where they are creating a massive nest to reproduce and expand their species. The situation becomes even more dangerous because the warhead's timer is still counting down. If it detonates, millions of innocent people could lose their lives. The soldiers desperately search for a way to disarm the bomb. Ford then reveals that he may be able to disable it within a very short amount of time. With no other options left, the military sends Ford on a final high-risk mission. As Godzilla battles the two MUTOs, the soldiers take the opportunity to reach the nuclear warhead. However, they fail to disarm it, so they decide to transport it away by ship into the open ocean. Meanwhile, Godzilla struggles against both MUTOs at the same time and is pushed close to defeat. Fighting two powerful opponents alone proves to be an enormous challenge. At the same time, Ford discovers that the MUTOs have built a nest filled with countless eggs, and many of them are already hatching. Realizing that these creatures could eventually overrun the planet, he decides to stop them before it's too late. Ford drains fuel from a nearby tank and triggers a massive explosion. Within moments, the entire nest, along with all the eggs and hatchlings, is destroyed. When the female MUTO sees what has happened, she becomes enraged and rushes back to the nest. Discovering that all of her offspring have been wiped out, she launches a furious attack on the soldiers. Almost everyone on the ship is killed during the chaos, with Ford being one of the few survivors. He resets the timer on the nuclear warhead and sends it toward the ocean. However, the MUTO's EMP ability disables the ship's engines, creating another dangerous situation. Just then, Godzilla arrives. In a dramatic final confrontation, Godzilla grabs the female MUTO and unleashes his atomic breath directly into her mouth. The devastating attack kills the creature instantly. After the intense battle, Godzilla is completely exhausted and collapses unconscious near the shoreline. Meanwhile, with the MUTO dead, its EMP effects disappear. The ship's systems come back online, and the vessel automatically continues its course toward deep waters. Ford, badly injured, loses consciousness aboard the ship. For a moment, it seems as if he might not survive. Fortunately, a rescue helicopter arrives in time and safely evacuates him. Soon afterward, the ship reaches a safe distance offshore, and the nuclear warhead detonates in the ocean. The massive explosion shakes the surrounding area. Some time later, Godzilla regains consciousness, slowly rises to his feet, and returns to the depths of the ocean. In the end, news outlets around the world hail Godzilla as the protector of the city. Many even give him the title, King of the Monsters. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe for more exciting movie recaps and story explanations.